Look, it's a faith-based movie about faith, intolerance, and bullying, and pretty much everything else they could fit into 90 minutes. Little Boy is the name of the movie, and it's about a, get this, little boy who's struggling with his faith. He is looking to bring his dad back from World War II and thinking that maybe he can do it just by believing in it enough. It is a faith-based film, and like many faith-based films, you may be asking the question, is it a well-done movie? Well, kinda. But let's talk about the message first. I really liked the message in this one. I think that's something really worth exploring. This idea of faith doesn't make something happen. It's not necessarily true. Or does it? Is faith like a magic trick where you can, because you believe something is going to make it happen? And I loved how this movie took the time to explore both sides of that equation. From somebody who has faith in a higher power to make things happen as they pray for them and want them to happen, and as people who don't believe in a higher power and see it as an imaginary friend in the sky who, can't make things happen. And I like that the movie was able to kind of explore both of those avenues in this one film. I will say that as much as I loved the message, it did get a little bit muddled for me because there's a lot of messages here. It doesn't just stop at this message about faith and belief. It moves on to messages about tolerance. A lot of this movie is about the fact that it's World War II and there's a Japanese man living in this city. And that itself seems like a worthy thing to explore, but it's not necessarily on the same page as this other deep issue we're exploring. Then there's this element of bullying, about this kid being little and being picked on at school, and how his friends treat him and those kind of things. So there's that element of it too, which that could go together, I guess, with the tolerance issue. But again, the faith issue seems like this other bigger issue that's out there. And then there's other messages in here about growth and what it means to be family and what it means to sacrifice and what it means to persevere. Now, there's nothing wrong with a movie having a lot to say and having many different themes to it, but the way you interweave those themes is really important. And this movie, I don't feel like did a good job at interweaving them. It felt like a whole bunch of different sermons that weren't really tied together well, if that makes a lot of sense. Plus the fact that a lot of it really is preachy, and I don't like that. You've got to trust the audience, and that's probably the worst thing for me, is they don't have that faith in the audience to be able to look at this and go, oh, I get what you're saying by the story you're telling me, so they really sermonize a lot of what's going on here in the different messages. Aside from that, as far as a movie goes, it's not that bad. I mean, there's some legit actors here. Kevin James is a name you know, Tom Wilkerson, Michael Rappaport, Emily Watson, all these people. Emily Watson, is that right? Might be, I don't know. All these people are in this movie and do a fine job. Now, the kid acting leaves a little bit to desire. I don't think that was really genuine. Didn't feel very real to me. But it wasn't so unbelievable that it took away from some of the more emotional moments. Those seemed to work. But as for that, here's another issue I had with the movie. I do have a lot of flaws in this one. Those emotional moments are nice and they're powerful, but they don't fit the tone of the rest of the movie, which seems to kind of be quirky, kind of going for a Tim Burton heightened reality kind of thing. Well, that's fine if you want to do that. You can still have a message and still have emotion, but the way you paint that emotion has to live in that quirky world. And here, the way they paint that emotion almost goes into a different type of melodrama. And so it doesn't fit together very well. It feels unbalanced in that way, and that, I think, diminishes the end product as well. Overall, Little Boy, I think, is a fine enough movie and will certainly appeal to people of faith because of what it says about faith. But because of some of the sermonizing and all the different messages and the inconsistency in tone, it's just too inconsistent for me to really give it anything more than like a C+, something like that. So thanks for checking this out. Appreciate it. As always, feel free to comment on the video. Click the little eye that's over here in this corner somewhere for a look at a way to support what goes on here. Maybe throw a buck or two my way if you like the review. Where to go for yourmoviefriend.com. There's a link in there, as well as a link to some of the other reviews this weekend, like Age of Adaline, those kind of things, all just by clicking that. And I won't go anywhere when you click it, it just kind of slides out. Also down in the bottom corner is a way to subscribe. You can see the little Your Movie Friend logo down there, and you just click that and just hit subscribe, and that way you won't miss any reviews when they come out. And as always, I'll give you 5 extra seconds to kind of click around and check everything out and get subscribed to the channel. So thanks for watching.